SuperTalk Mississippi Media Production.
I'm Steve Azar, and I'm on the other side of the microphone, meaning I'm asking the questions this time, and oh, have mercy for the airwaves. I spent 20 years in Music City, wrote and made some hits, traveled the world, and then moved my family back to the birthplace of American music and where the magnolia trees prosper. And now every time I put my feet on Mississippi soil, when I'm off the road, well, I'm at peace. On this show, it's all about hearing the stories straight from the mouths of the friends I've made along the way, their journey to success. Heck, there might be someone on, I don't even know, but you know how us Mississippi types are. We tend to take well to new company. In a Mississippi Minute, all 60 of them. I'm Steve Azar. It's just like that muddy river, moving slow. Ain't no worries, it's how life goes, baby. In a Mississippi Minute.
Hey folks, time for another In a Mississippi Minute. Excited about today's guest. We'll get to that in a second, but first we got to talk about my folks, fine folks over there in Macon, Mississippi, producing the best catfish. Go to superiorcatfish.com and visit Mississippi.org. We are the birthplace of America's music. I'm heading to Music City, USA, where I had my feet on those grounds somewhat for 20 years and moved back to our glorious Mississippi. It's been a blessing, but I love connecting with folks. Sometimes I didn't really spend any time with, like today's guest. I don't know how it happened, but we had mutual friends. We interviewed his comrade, Ron Flint, just recently. Their band 2020 has a reunion record after 2 decades, I think, or maybe longer. It was longer than that. Maybe he'll straighten me out. Called Back to California. Check it out. It's out now. Back in the day, Oklahoma, Tulsa-based, met his kids, I believe. I want to make sure that was Ron's story. Like an old married couple, his may be a little different. Both Tulsa born and raised, moved to California in the 70s and started their band 2020. The Hollywood-based power pop group released several albums and tracks up into the late 90s, and then he and Flint decided to reunite with this Back to California record that's out now. So you got to check it out. Great guys, incredibly talented, by the way. It started with back in the day. Well, let me jump to this. So there was a separation of state. Ron goes to Austin, and that's where he's made his career. Today's guest goes to Nashville and joins the band The Long Players, if I got this right. Crazy talented, basically super group of Nashville. They've been going for a couple decades. He is the guitar man, incredible singer-songwriter. So let's get to it right now, because I know there's a lot of friends that we have in common with singer-songwriter, guitarist Steve Allen.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm strumbling. What do you call it? Strumbling or stumbling through that?
I like strumbling, man.
We should write that. We should write that. Really looking forward to getting to know you. I don't know how many times maybe we crossed paths while we were in Nashville. Did we?
There's a lot of people, and I only have so much of this memory left. So
you still have hair, which is good.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you still got hair. You and Ron and myself, we both have a lot of hair. I got a lot of hair too. All right, let me ask you this. So there's a couple songs that I wrote with my old buddy, and he's still a good friend, Radney Foster. Both stuck with me. They both impacted my career. He was very influential when I was on Universal when he said, hey, here's what I do. I make the record I want to make. You're a little bit of a fish out of water. I had success with Foster Lloyd, which is one of your bandmates, Bill Lloyd. Mm-hmm. And then he had his solo career, but he really is a Texas guy at heart, writes that way, but also very commercial. He's figured out how to be himself at the same time, converge on the whole industry, which was amazing. I grew up in this Mississippi thing, always writing about Mississippi, and he said, you just need to go do your own thing. And this was back in 2006 or 7. And I left the label and took his advice, and every once in a while, let's just say that it's been a blessing. I'll never forget the time he talked to me about that, and it's worked out for me wonderfully, and I've been free and blessed and more successful even so with before the hits, to have the staying power. So for you, getting to know, I want to talk about Bill Lloyd first of all. How do you guys develop that relationship?
Well, Bill is, like you said, a super talented songwriter, musician, organizer, all around great guy. He's almost like he's almost like a mayor of Nashville because he connects so many people from rock, from power pop to his country, Foster and Lloyd. And so when I moved to town, a mutual friend, John Clay, just said, you need to get in touch with Bill Lloyd. So I finally ran into him one day at the record store. I think it's Great Escape. Remember that place?
Mm-hmm. I do.
Anyway, great record store. So we kind of started being friends then, and he let me know he was a fan of 2020, and I was a fan of his. And so we wrote through the years, and then we both have such a Beatle connection that there was a period where we were doing these really great. It was for Imagine No Handguns. So it was started somewhere else and brought here, and we would get together and do John Lennon songs.
Wow.
With the band that eventually kind of became the same personnel of the Long Players. Huh. So we realized we have a really good sound of band. And so anyway, Bill and I we just had, last year was our 20th anniversary of Long Players. And we do it every couple months now. And it's still real popular, and we still love doing it. And Bill is still putting out new music. He just put out an instrumental album.
Of course he did. Of course.
Of course he did.
Radney the same way. You know, that they're very prolific. You know, I love the fact that you've got something that says a lot about you. And that is you spent a lot of years, you and Ron, with a band, one career. Y'all grew up together. And I want to hear your story, your backstory from your take of that experience with Ron in Tulsa and that influence it had on you. But now you've spent another 20 years with the same group. It just says a lot about you. I just want you to know. I love hearing that.
Oh, man. Well, I've always been a band guy, you know. And, you know, if we could have been as successful as like Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, that wouldn't have sucked. But that's that little 1%, you know.
Yeah.
But no, being in a band, I'm not a solo guy. I've tried it, and it's too lonely.
Yeah, I agree.
You can do that, right? You can get up and
No, I'm a solo guy, and I love that. But I like being with my guys. I've got one guy's been with me 30 years, 125, 120. The other guy's retired out. So my merch guy became my sidekick, and then in the 90s, and he's still my sidekick, sang on all my records. Incredible. I can't imagine playing without him. He's out front with all the toys and percussion, and he's my guy. And then my guitar player was my guitar tech for about 10 years before he became my official guitar player when my other guy retired to fish. And my drummer was teching my drummer, who ended up passing away at some point. But the bottom line is I kept everything in the family, and it's just been great. You know, you're the kind of guy, I love that you don't throw off the bus. You make sure they got the best bunk and the best air conditioning and the TV's working and all that. But I think that says a lot. Now, we got to take a break in a second.
Yeah.
I want to talk about 2020, which is what we're celebrating today. You guys, obviously you and Ron got back together. I want to get it from your perspective. But before we go there, real quick, what are you working on today?
Today, you know, I'm just kind of writing when I feel the moment, and Ron and I do want to make another 2020 record. But I like, have you ever played in DADGAD?
No, what is that?
Well, you tune your acoustic or whatever to D.
Oh, sure.
You know,
sure, different tunings. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So actually every day for a while here, I've been getting up and just making up a couple different ones. And just to keep that creative thing going, because I don't have a real project I'm working on.
Right. It keeps it interesting, doesn't it? Moving the. I agree.
We got to stay creative, don't we? I mean,
we do, and you're obviously the real guitar player. I'm a banger. by nature, and that's why I have somebody like you to my side at all times to make things a little bit more organized and better.
Well, I think we're all still just trying to learn how.
We are.
Every day. I'm like, well, how did I do that before? You know?
Yeah. Let's take a quick break. We're talking to Steve Allen. The band 2020 right now has their new record, reunion record called Back to California. Made a big splash all the way into the 90s, separated with his longtime mate Ron Flint, and now the rest is history. They're back at it. Superior Catfish, they're back at it all the time. You can go to store.superiorcatfish.com and have it delivered to your home. And visit Mississippi.org, the birthplace of America's music, talking to another music man via Tulsa, via L.A., via Nashville. And Steve Allen. We'll be right back.
Sun came up in the middle of the night, been doing it wrong for so long. I sure ought to know what it finally feels like to be doing it right. I saw the light. Sun came up in the middle of the night, been doing it wrong for so long. I sure ought to know what it finally feels like. I sure ought to know what it finally feels like. I sure ought to know what it finally feels like to be doing it right.
Listen and watch all your favorite SuperTalk Mississippi shows live and on demand. Listen to tons of music. Plus, get the latest breaking news from across the state with the SuperTalk Mississippi app. The SuperTalk Mississippi app. Download the SuperTalk app on your iPhone or Android device now for free. Just search SuperTalk Mississippi in your app store on your mobile device to get everything Mississippi all in one place. The SuperTalk Mississippi app. Get it now.
Driving this 75 Cadillac.
Steve Allen on the horn. Incredible singer-songwriter, musician, great guitar player. Like, that's good. One of those guys that spent way too much time in his room putting the 10,000 times 2 hours in. Special guy, special talent. Glad to have him on the horn. His band 2020 has their new record out, Back to California. It's been a lot of years since he and Ron Flint have gotten together. And when that happens, come on, it's magic. So check out their record, Back to California by 2020. Speaking of 2020, there's Catfish, there's Superior Catfish. Always keep your eye on that ball. Perfect vision, perfect catfish. I'm trying to connect the dots, Steve. Go to superiorcatfish.com and visit Mississippi.org. As your music and culture ambassador of the great state of Mississippi, I'm grateful for that. And I'm grateful to have folks like Steve on the show that will waste their time with me and make me look better than I am. All right, Steve, let's talk about you and Ron. Since we're celebrating 2020 today and your reunion, I want to talk about y'all's beginning days coming from your perspective, and I can't wait to compare it to Ron's.
Well, the truth is, whatever Ron said, I'll tell you the truth. No, we both moved to a new elementary school in the 6th grade. And maybe I saw him around, but I didn't really know him, but we weren't in the same classes, but we were both put on the same baseball team. And because there were too many kids playing baseball, so they did a scrub team, and we were, us and another guy were kind of in control of the team with kids a year younger. So Ron and I really bonded. He was a pitcher and I was a catcher occasionally. He was first base. I was second base, so then I was just learning how to play guitar, and his mom told my mom. And so our moms got us together to see if we could play music together. Isn't that crazy?
That's just, you got to be kidding me.
So we were 11. I think I was 11.
Yeah, that's the magic age.
And so we've been trying to make music and get better is how I look at it ever since.
I was a catcher, by the way. And I never went anywhere else in the field because I didn't understand you guys taking taking short hops and stuff. I was like, wow, I like gear on to protect me.
Man, I let me tell you, this is not to do with music, but my catcher time was limited to a few games because I was small. I was going to get the big guy coming in. I got him out and I went flying, and I think I had like a minor concussion. I just remember going like, whoa, this is weird.
Yeah, so, I had that happen to me my first time.
Did you? Well,
well, let me just say this. I got run over by a truck named Bobby Skinner. I'll never forget because I knew who he was. And I never knew that you could do that, right? You could run over me like that. And that was the only time I ever dropped the ball. After that, I learned to scoot, especially these guys that I'd scoot over a little bit and man, I would swing. I would say, heck with them. They're coming at me. I'm swinging my glove and I locked it in and I'd figured out how to do it. But I'm going to tell you something. I still feel the pain of that first blow.
Whoa.
Man, and then I had my cup cracked once. That was that whole cell of the plastic cup went a foul tip. And then I woke up. I think my mom was over the top of me and I was like, oh my God, it hurt so bad I passed out.
Oh my God. The catcher has a rough.
Oh, it's a
gig.
lot going on back there. And we got all the moms on the other team yelling at you the whole time behind the fence. I mean, it was a whole lot going on. I was traumatized back there, but I actually, I loved it. All right, let's get,
anyway, that's how I met Ron.
Okay, so let's talk about how this develops. We all grew up playing in church. It was a big part of my life as well. You guys are playing in church? Is that the deal? How this thing or no?
No, we were more of a garage band, right off the bat.
Well, we all were in our garages, for sure.
Well, I think Ron went to a Baptist church and maybe played a little there, but
okay.
We were just trying, I'd walk to his house. He'd walk to mine. In the early days, and then we put bands together as soon as we could.
So how early were you guys actually performing? What age?
Probably at 12 in the backyard.
And then
we had a few kids over, and that was our first performance.
Full band?
No, well, it was probably, I think at first just me and Ron, but that was, that made, each one is a threshold, right? Like learn how to play in front of people. Be nervous as heck, right? Get over it. Finally, we got the drummer and the bass player and everything. Ron had to switch to bass because we had two other guitar players.
Wow.
So he's one of those guys that he was playing guitar, rhythm, and then he went to bass and he became a great bass player.
Yeah, he told me, I think that he said maybe, did you tell him to move to bass?
I think in high school we had another guy that was pretty good on guitar, Kenny. And so we did, it's like every band, you can't have three guitar players.
Yeah. Well,
no bass.
So. You could, but a lot of noise.
Was he reluctant about it? Is that what he said?
No. He was grateful. He was grateful.
Oh, good.
I'm not breaking up the band after it's back together. He was grateful. But he said that he said you influenced him to do that, if I recall.
I think that is correct.
And it was a great move. He said, he was happy about it. You guys go off to California from your vision and hanging out in the rearview mirror for a second. What was that experience like with you guys, and how does 2020 become the name of the band?
Well, first I went to L.A. Ron was getting his actual degree in music. I was not going for that, and I went out there with just blind faith. I just knew I had nothing to lose. The end of 76, Ron graduated, came out in 77. We started writing new songs, a new wave punk thing. The energy was happening in L.A., mm-hmm. And so we finally got together with Mike Gallo on drums. And he actually came up with the name 2020. Ron and I we were looking at names like, honestly, like the Dead Johnnies. I don't know, just all kinds of crazy names.
Yeah. It's funny you remember the one you didn't use.
It seemed to be one of the better ones. The Detergents. I don't know. There was a lot of, but 2020, we recognized that was a good name.
So looking back at y'all's run and as music changes and you guys are evolving, during this period, how many records did y'all make during the time?
Well, we put out a single on Bump. Then, we were signed to Epic Portrait. We put out 2 albums with them and another one on Enigma. And then we did some independent ones. We've done 3 or 4 since then.
The single launched into the double record deal?
The single helped. And then we started playing the Whiskey in different places. But we had worked. The big thing that we did is when we got out there, we got jobs.
Yeah, I'm going to erase it, but go ahead. No, I'm kidding.
We got some crappy jobs. And then to stay alive, we just started writing all the time. We rehearsed for a year with Mike. And then we finally played a couple of gigs with all new songs. And then it happened pretty quick after that.
Did you feel the click when it started to make sense to you? Like when you guys found yourselves?
Yes, and we went into an 8-track a couple of times to lay down the new songs. So we had demos. Greg Shaw took us in, and we cut a few more things with him. It was a gradual process, and finally, when the single came out, we were getting popular playing. We were playing at Madame Wong's every week for a month, and that's when the business started coming out.
That's so cool.
I know it was really like it's like a fantasy that's becoming reality. You know what I mean?
But you've worked really hard at it, and you know, I know we don't ever expect it, but the beauty is we got friends. We all are sort of in this pool together, and when one of them gets out of the deep end and is celebrating, you know, something just glorious happened, it gives you hope. And it lets you know that, hey, maybe we can do it. It's just been a beautiful, beautiful life getting to see it all, witness it all, the success of our friends and the stuff that we've done in our career. A true, true blessing. Let's take a quick break. Steve Allen's my guest. The band 2020, him and his co-founder, Ron Flint, all the way back from 11 years old. But they made some cool records. The new record, after all this time, called Back to California, the band's 2020. Check it out. Visit Mississippi.org. Always a beautiful place. Plan a road trip to your Mississippi. And, hey, Superior Catfish. There's catfish and there's Superior Catfish. Every time I do the math, it adds up to, well, that's the best. Go to SuperiorCatfish.com. Love you guys. We'll be right back.
$20,000 available for first-time home buyers. Hey folks, Steve Azar here. Helping is the heart of our friends at Guarantee Bank. They offer programs like the Home Buyer Equity Leverage Partnership Grant that can assist qualified first-time home buyers with up to $20,000 towards down payment and provide home ownership counseling to empower you on your journey. These funds are first come, first served. Learn more about this program and to apply now, go to gbtonline.com. Guarantee Bank, member FDIC.
You know that nowadays most people go online to look at a business before they spend their money. What if the online information about your business is incorrect, or even worse, not very flattering? If your online presence isn't great, you may be losing customers. STMM Digital's trusted and highly trained team is the answer. We're ready to work with you to help your business capitalize on the power of digital marketing. Call 601-991-2305 or go to stmmdigital.com to get started today.
From the
In a Mississippi Minute with Steve Azar, right here on SuperTalk Mississippi.
Into my 8th year right now doing a radio show that started at an Ole Miss game with Team SuperTalk joking about me doing a show. And then we met up again, and all of a sudden we said, okay, let's meet in Jackson. And we had 4 shows to start, and somehow I am heading into my 700th or 800th show, and I bless them for ever putting up with me that long. I'm grateful, I can tell you. And Steve Allen, my guest today, is probably going, why are you doing a radio show? But I wanted to sort of set the record straight. I also want to set the record straight that Superior Catfish is over there in Macon, Mississippi. These guys love what they do. I'm telling you, I've been in there. They take such pride in what gets on your plate. Go to store.superiorcatfish.com. It's coming to your house. And visit Mississippi.org. Been with me since the start. And grateful to be the author of your new official state song of Mississippi. That has been my highlight of my life. I love our Mississippi. So thank you for allowing that to happen. Thank you, legislature and the governor. Anyway, okay. So let's talk about, you guys make these records. What causes the time that you both go, you've been together since 11. I know you've gone to different churches and different things, and you've had a different route. But at some point, you guys go enough, and I'm going to Austin, and I'm going to Nashville. Is that how it happened?
Not right away. Ron went back to Tulsa.
Okay.
When the band we weren't, I liken it to a boat. The boat was taking in water and we couldn't seem to keep it floating. And then, you got to move to another thing. And we both still had publishing deals with Bug Music, which was cool. And
folks, by the way, Bug Music is one of the greats. So
they had you keep your own publishing. That was great. They were a great administrator.
Wonderful. Exactly.
Yeah. So you're familiar. Yeah.
Very familiar. I've written songs with a bunch of Bug writers, and they all were very happy.
Yeah. Great people working for them when they were happening. And then, but Ron went to Oklahoma and started playing with some people there and doing different things. And then I was in LA. I stayed in LA and I got married and, was kind of getting my own studio world together and, playing out some and, but it was a bit like we were missing 2020 because, that excitement of playing live and creating what we create, we both really missed that. But we had to move on at that point. And then when we finally could get back together, then I did move to Nashville eventually. And we started making the records that came out in the 90s. And I think that's when they came out.
Well, wait a minute. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, we did 2 on Oleo. Yeah, I think it was.
So y'all were still going?
Well, we would get together in Tulsa. So we had a drummer named Bill Belknap in Tulsa, had a great studio. So we would both get there, get our songs together with him and record. We recorded a couple albums there.
Wow.
And,
wow. I love it. I love y'all were rolling. Okay. So the friendship, did you guys ever have, because Ron, I didn't ask Ron this question. It seemed like to me, y'all's relationship has never wavered.
We're just such deep friends,
Yeah. I love it. Going through those times together,
Yeah. And we still, it's like, if one person feels strongly about something, anything, this song is not mixed right, or that's not the right name for the album, we both will go, okay, let's find another one. So we've learned to just kind of, cause you both want to have your input, the same pretty much.
Well, that just shows you guys are meant to meet when you met, and the staying power is just a credit to both of y'all. You're both salt of the earth. I can tell you right now, and I'm not just sucking up. There's something about what's inside you guys that's similar. And I can tell you both have worked hard. You came from great nurturing households. It sounds like parents that were into it, and also, helping you guys realize that this could be your calling. Not playing catcher. Neither me or you. We need to stop doing that at some point, but it was a lot of fun. Are you a studio hound like Ron? Are y'all both the same guys when it comes to the studio?
Well, I was doing a lot more of that. And then, Ron has, and I kind of let it go just except for my own stuff. We're going to other studios playing on people's records, but I have a little Pro Tools set up, but Ron has a real studio. And, I'm really proud of him. It works. It stays busy. He's a great, recording, great at recording people and producing things. And he works hard. He loves to work and still play live. Mm-hmm. So we cut the new album at his studio. We cut all the tracks there.
Oh, the dog, what was it?
Jumping Dog.
Jumping Dog. Yeah.
Jumping Dog Studio. He had a dog that jumped at first.
Oh, and that was it? And that was it?
Yeah. Out of his house, and then it grew. And we cut all the tracks there with his son Ray on drums.
I know. He told me that you guys have got his son playing. He's awesome.
Great. Man, his energy and us, the way we play together, it's really a family thing,
Let's talk about you guys. You making these records and you've got this reunion. Are y'all going back to some of the old venues, or y'all going to tour a little bit around these records?
Well, I hope we go play Austin soon. And I would love to play Tulsa. We just played in LA in April, and it was as good as it could be. It was sold out. It was beautiful. Everything was beautiful. So that was a high thing for us, high point. And so we're really not booked right now. So I would like us to play some more gigs. I'd like to play New York City. I want to go to Spain.
I think
They love
we're
power
about-
pop
yeah.
in Spain.
Oh,
have
wow.
Have you played over there?
Well, my daughter has, she studied culinary over there, and we went to visit her, before she finished all that, and she's in New York cooking, but,
Okay.
yeah,
Great,
but
man.
no, but I played in Germany, and my first cuts came in Germany with this artist who I wrote with, Dick Wagner, who was, Alice Cooper's guitar player for a long time.
I remember him.
Yeah, Dick,
Yeah.
great guy. And, so we went over there back in the day and played in Russia, played in Latvia, played in everywhere. I mean, all Canada, Mexico. We have not played Spain, but there's a festival. So I'm keeping this in mind because, there's a festival I've been asked to play for the last 2 years, but it's in Mallorca, Spain. Mallorca, is that right?
Yeah.
And so I love this guy because he's not putting on Firefest because he's had some situations where he just can't pull the trigger just yet. So he's making sure all his ducks are in a row because it's a big thing. So I'll connect with you and connect you with him. So, maybe we both go over there together. That's fun, right? You want to go to Spain? By God, let's make it happen on Mississippi Media. I'm serious.
Yeah.
It sounds like y'all would be perfect for that. And he had talked about some other acts and stuff, but, anyway, it's going to be a big old festival, and it's going to be next October, is set late October are the dates for this third attempt. But I put on a festival when I moved back home, called the Mighty Mississippi, and we had Stapleton, we had a Government Mule, Dr. John. The best blues stage in the world was here, from Kingfish to Cedric Burnside to Bobby Rush to everybody that we've known through our years, me growing up down here and all that and getting to know some of the newer guys. But also, the revivalists, Shovels and Rope, Ryan Bingham, you name it, Old Crow Medicine Show, they all played on the Mississippi River. And we just got tired of putting it on because we were spending so much money and we were making just that money at the end of the day, and I was exhausted. And my partner on it was a farmer, and he said, this music industry thing is worse than farming. You know, I said, hey, come on, man, we all gamble. So anyway, it was great for the community and all that, but I'm just saying putting on a festival is not easy. It's not easy. It's a lot of moving parts. You and I like to show up on stage, heck with all that other stuff, and play, baby, and play. We'll be right back with Steve Allen, the band's 2020. They're back together, him and Ron Flint, after all those years. 11 years old. Come on, that's crazy. And made a whole lot of great records. They're still making great music. That 2020 record's called Back to California. It was released in January. It's out. Check it out. Check out all their music wherever you stream, and steal music from us musicians. Ha, ha, ha. Anyway, Superior Catfish, you need to steal some time right now. Have it on your black iron skillet tonight. Go to superiorcatfish.com. It's the best. And visit Mississippi.org. Plan a road trip to your Mississippi. Won't be long. Maybe we'll get 2020 on Mississippi soil. That'd be a beautiful thing. We'll be right back.
But you held my hand, led me home.
$20,000 available for first-time home buyers. Hey folks, Steve Azar here. Helping is the heart of our friends at Guarantee Bank. They offer programs like the Home Buyer Equity Leverage Partnership Grant that can assist qualified first-time home buyers with up to $20,000 towards down payment and provide home ownership counseling to empower you on your journey. These funds are first come, first served. Learn more about this program and to apply now, go to gbtonline.com. Guarantee Bank, member FDIC.
The best.
I got me.
We got a short segment left. Steve Allen has become my new friend. Well, he's my friend. I may not be his, but that's my
man.
It's my show, so he has to roll with me for a second. Visit Mississippi.org. Always rolling. We are the birthplace of America's music, and we're going to celebrate that forever. Too many greats that come from here. And Superior Catfish, come on, if you're going to have catfish, you're not going to get it from Singapore or Thailand or wherever that is. You're going to get it from Mississippi. Made in Macon, Mississippi. It's as good as it gets. They're doing it right. Go to superiorcatfish.com. All right, Steve Allen's my guest. 2020 is back. Reunion record called Back to California. All right, Steve Allen is, hey Steve, real quick. What was the reason for getting back together, or the epiphany, the moment, and also the title of the album, Back to California, makes sense to me, but like, where did all the content come from when you guys got together?
I think it was the timing, and Ron started writing some songs that would be 2020 type songs, and I had done so at the same time. Actually, we did a gig with Dwight Twilley, a festival in Pasadena. And Ron flew. I was living in Tulsa for a minute, literally 2 months. And, I went from there. Ron went from, Texas, and we played this gig with Dwight, and I played him a couple things I was working on. And he said, well, man, I'm writing some too. He played me a couple. So we said, well, let's make another record, or let's just record. Let's record.
Right.
And so it started there, and that was, maybe 2018. And then it just kind of dawned on us, oh my God, 2020. The year is coming up. Like, we really hadn't even thought about it. Crazy enough. So we did book a gig at the Roxy for April of 2020, which was maybe 2 weeks after the lockdown.
Yeah, not good timing.
So we had a couple songs ready that we would have put out as a single maybe. And so instead, when all that happened, when I could get there, mask up, whatever. Yeah. I would come there and record tracks with them. And then I would go home, work on them. Ron would work on them. And that's how we did the album that finally came out January of this year.
You guys just want a road trip because you know we can make these records via Zoom and our audio movers.
It's so much better to be in person, though.
I know.
For the tracking.
Working on something new as well? You're going to continue this, sounds like?
We both have some tracks that didn't make the last album. And so he's writing some, I'm writing. So when the time is right, we'll get together, and I'll go to Austin and we'll see what we got.
I love it.
So keep it going. Yeah.
Power pop, just that genre. So you're smiling now, but where does that come from?
I think it came from a line Pete Townsend said about the Who, and, but it's a term that is almost broadened with time. Like, there's all kinds of bands that are considered power pop, like Cheap Trick. And we kind of fought the name, to be honest, for a little while, or just we weren't sure. And then now we gladly accept it. And it's kind of opened up, and it's really like if Tom Petty's almost power pop now. So if you look at it that way,
yeah.
Depending on the kind of song, he can get more country, whatever. But, in fact, we are someone doing one of these podcasts, we found out we're in the Power Pop Hall of Fame. And
wow.
we're like, there is a Power Pop Hall of Fame. So it's online if you go to that.
So that's awesome. That's fantastic.
Awesome.
Well, that means separates you into that elite group. Did you guys ever do gigs back in the day, maybe with Cheap Trick or Tom Petty?
We did not do any gigs with Cheap Trick or Tom Petty, but we were aware of them. And
sure.
I knew Stan Lynch a little bit. We both did. And we got to meet with Tom a couple times. He came to, when we were first getting together with Phil Seymour sitting in, and he came to a session with Phil. So we got to meet Tom early on. He was just the best.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you recognize when someone is on that.
Yeah. Oh, no, I know. I love it. Let me ask you this. I've got my go-tos. I've been writing alone since I moved back in 2011. So we spent 20 years in Music City, but I've been writing alone. I grew up writing alone, and then I wrote so much co-writing. We were I felt like I was at boot camp in the beginning. 3 writing sessions a day, just, and not a lot going on in my mind, trust me. But looking back at those times, but then you develop these relationships. There was a guy named AJ Masters who passed away, but James House and I have written more songs than I think it's crazy. Obviously Radney, what we did stuck. I wrote for Roger Murrah for a while and Mark Allen Springer and some of these guys. Rafe Van Hoy was a huge influence on me. with all of that said, for you, who are your go-tos when you like to co-write?
I really haven't been co-writing with anybody but Ron lately.
That's it, right?
So that's it. I'm open to it, but I did kind of pursue that, and I just did not find success with country songs.
I get it. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's admirable, and that you guys were in your lane. I love that, and your lane. Guess what? It led you to the Hall of Fame. That's a pretty good lane to be in. Well, our time's up. I can't thank you enough for taking the time to spend with me. Looking forward to meeting you physically in person one day, besides on this Zoom thing. But bless you guys, and good luck on everything with 2020. New record, folks. Back to California. Steve Allen.
Thank you so much, Steve. Appreciate it.
You're awesome.
Great to meet you.
It's great to meet you too. I'll see you in Spain and Mississippi.
All right.
How you like that? I'm on a mission now.
I'll come down. We'll eat some catfish.
Oh, you got it. Superior catfish is what you'll have. Oh, I'd love it. Superior catfish and Steve Allen. That goes hand in hand. He can have it delivered to his door. Go to store.superiorcatfish.com, and so can you. And visit Mississippi.org, the birthplace of it all. We're talking to a real music man, Steve Allen. I really appreciate his time. Blessings all.
I'm Steve Azar. In a Mississippi Minute, all 60 of them, where you can take your sweet time.
A SuperTalk Mississippi Media production.